Welcome to the Run Your Day podcast, a show dedicated to helping you expand your capacity, take your life in every area to an entirely new level, and creating a day and a life by design. Here's your host, Dan Hafner. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Run Your Day podcast. As always, your host, Dan Hafner here, creator of this show, creator of the Runway Jap, creator of all kinds of awesome stuff, my friends. Today's topic is this: the social dilemma. As always, I appreciate you all joining. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. All right, my friends, this is episode 301. If you haven't got a chance, go back and listen to episode 300. I'm very, very excited about all of this, about the incredible growth of this show. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all for joining. I really, really appreciate you guys. So I gotta share a little bit about my weekend here. I watched a documentary on Netflix that has been there for a while, The Social Dilemma. Have any of you seen this episode? It's a documentary. It's about an hour and a half long. And I really, really want to talk about it because there are, oh my God, there's so many things. I could talk about this show for an hour, and I'm going to try and condense it into 10, 12 minutes. But if you haven't seen that, I won't give any spoilers away. But The Social Dilemma, it's on Netflix. I highly, highly recommend watching it. It's about basically how the social media apps like Facebook and Google and all kinds of different stuff have affected the way we think, we operate, and it's not gonna lie, it's definitely a negative spin on things. But it is terrifying. Like, it is straight up a terrifying documentary. And that's, I really don't know what else to share without spoiling it, but I'll highlight it with this. This is a spoiler alert. If you want to watch it, I highly recommend it. Don't listen to the rest of this episode and go watch it, and then come back and listen to this when you're done. So that's my disclaimer for this one. So, man, when I watched that, I really was excited to come on here and talk more about this. And it really kind of drives home a lot of the stuff that I keep talking about on here, because the more I watched that documentary, the more I started to see like this is exactly what's wrong with people today, right? We are having our lives run by technology, by the people inside of these programs and these apps and these technology platforms that really know us better than we know ourselves, right? I'm sure you've all had that experience where you're sitting around thinking about something or talking to someone about something, and then, maybe 5 minutes later you go on Facebook and you see an ad actually targeted at that thing. Like, you're like, how in the hell does Facebook know about this? Like, clearly they have bugged my phone. They know me. Like, they're inside of, it seems like they're inside of your head, right? And the more you watch that show, the more you realize, like, well, no shit. Like, with the technology they have, it's unbelievable how it's really like pretty straight up how they are able to do it. You know what I mean? But there's basically a family they take through the show, and you really see how it, like, social media really destroys their family, and from it's like an addiction, right? And it's crazy because as you watch it, you really see they really highlight how, like, the younger generation is being more and more ruined by social media, and just like spending all this time and getting all this validation, and there's so much cyberbullying and just so much shit going on that it's truly disheartening. It's disheartening inside of just being, like, I'm not even a parent, but just like being a human, and seeing this as I grew up. Like, oh man, it's absolutely crazy. Like, I my first cell phone was a track phone, like one of those ones where you had prepaid minutes, and that was in high school. I didn't even have, I don't think, a smartphone till like I was a senior, or maybe maybe in college or something like that. Like, it was a while before I had that. But when I'm thankful for that, because I could not imagine, like, the younger generation, these kids that are 8, 9, 10 years old, having a cell phone, being in middle school, all the social media stuff that goes on. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. But for us as adults, right, whether you have kids or not, like, there are social media addictions and habits that are really destructive for your day and your productivity, right? Even myself, like, I run Facebook ads, I do online marketing, I do different things. So I'm on these platforms throughout the day, and I really have to be cognizant that I'm not going down the newsfeed rabbit hole, right? And why that's important is because when you get sucked into this, you're on someone else's agenda, right? You're on someone else's agenda that they're crafting what you're seeing based on what they know about you and what's going to keep you engaged for a long time. Like that is the point of Facebook. That's the point of YouTube. That's the point of Instagram. That's the point of Pinterest. That's the point of TikTok, right? It's to keep you on the platform for as long as possible. Period. Your attention is a commodity. Period. That's what it is. And that's how they're designed. There's literally people sitting around at tables right now as you are listening to this, thinking of ways to get you more hooked to TikTok. Like I wish that was not true, but it is. It's 100% true. You can fact check me all you want. I've never really like like looked it up, but I can almost guarantee you after watching this show like that there's every single place has these. And it's unbelievable, and it starts to ruin your life and your day and your productivity when you get engaged in this for non-productive means. Like if you're just the endless Facebook newsfeed scroller, like you're losing the game. You're losing because you're allowing someone else to steal your attention, to steal your energy, to steal your brain power and divert it into something that's not useful for you. It's not productive. It really isn't. Like, okay, great. If you can limit yourself to 30 minutes a day or 20 minutes a day and comment on people's pictures, update a status, create a nice story, like give people an update on your life, that's great. Like that's where it should end. That's where it should end. There shouldn't be mindless hours of watching YouTube. There shouldn't be mindless hours of scrolling through your Facebook newsfeed. And I'm guilty of this. Like I'm guilty of this. I'm not a big YouTuber, but like I do scroll through Facebook and I find myself doing this. And after watching this show, I'm like, man, I really want to just delete my freaking Facebook feed. Like it's unbelievable because the more the more platforms you're engaged in, the more notifications you get to bring you back to those platforms, and the less you're actually able to divert time and energy towards what you truly want in life. Like what you want to do inside of your business, what you want to do inside of your career. And I get it. I get it. These apps, everything, like they are made to look really nice. They're made to function really well, and that's by design. But once you see the matrix, like once you see the power behind the psychology of why and how these platforms are able to hook you and keep you engaged, you start to wake up to reality. You start to wake up to be like, holy crap, I am not running my day. Someone else is in control of my brain and my schedule. And it's scary, but you can take that back, right? Like you can take that back. And I highly, 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 highly recommend you watch this documentary because you start to realize like, okay, if I can pause notifications, if I can keep my phone out of the bedroom, if I can use something else as an alarm clock, if I can limit my screen time, if I can get in better social media habits, like you can start to live life. Like this past weekend, there was all kinds of rallies in DC for, the trying to get President Trump reelected or fight the election or whatever the hell was going on. Right. I don't even have TV. I don't even know what happened. But then there was all kinds of people from the Black Lives Matter and other opposing movements that attack them. Right. And people are shocked by this, and people see this and they're like, well, how can this happen? Watch The Social Dilemma. And it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. We've never been more polarized. We've never been more hateful. We've never been more intolerant. We've never been more, well, I shouldn't say more. We've never been less apt to communicate with each other than right now. And it's sickening and it's disheartening. And it's because we all have allowed, at some level, a story on social media to drive our thinking and behavior instead of just thinking for your goddamn self. Think for yourself. Be critical. Be analytical. Don't just take things at face value. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care what you do. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care. Think for yourself. Take back control of what you do online, what you see online, and remember, at the end of the day, you are in control of you. No one else is. That's it. That's it. So, in summary today, that's all I wanted to talk about was you can take back your life. If you find yourself being addicted to social media, if you find yourself being mindlessly scrolling or watching videos, like there's resources out there. Google it. Like I'm not going to like sit here and give you all kinds of cool stuff that I've used because I've never used any of it. But there are ways. There's ways you can get help. There's ways you can do this. There's apps out there that can literally keep you from being on screens for so long, right? I'm sure you got to pay for them, but sometimes you got to pay for stuff to make things work. And that's just the way the world goes. My question for you today to think about this is, are you addicted to social media? Yes or no? Like it's a yes or no question. It's not like, oh, well, maybe I might be. No, like, are you addicted or are you not? And if you are, is that something you want to change? And if it is, go figure out how to change it. If you aren't, okay, great. Now keep doing what you're doing and keep controlling yourself and keep your head on straight and remember that you are in control of you and you can't go down the slippery slope. And I get it. Like sometimes it happens to me and it's okay because the best thing you can do is just put your phone down. Like you're in control of it. You control where your eyes go. You control what your fingers do. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, they're not in control of you. You are in control of you. All right. So that is all I have for you today, my friends. As always, I appreciate you all joining. Head over to Run Your Day podcast for more cool content. And please share the show with anyone you think might get benefit out of this. We've never been growing faster. I'm really, really excited. And thank you all for listening to this episode. We'll come at you next time with more content. As always, Dan Hafner signing off. Make it a great rest of your day. Hey, before you go, I have a quick question for you. How would you like a deeper dive experience into the Run Your Day podcast to take your results to another level? If so, check out our new membership, Run Your Day Academy. That's right. For free for a limited time, the Run Your Day Academy platform features deeper dive content into some of your favorite Run Your Day podcast episodes in video format, mind you, from none other than me, Dan Hafner. I truly went all in on this platform to give you as much value as possible, and it could be a game changer for some of you. So head over to runyourdaypodcast.com and click on Academy. Registration is actually 100% free right now until the end of November, at which point it will no longer be free to join. But right now, you can join the Run Your Day Academy for free forever. So what are you waiting for? Head to runyourdaypodcast.com, click on Academy, and fill out the information. See you there.